Is Denson, FTE 217, week 7 assignment. And before I start working, my area is clear of all ammunition. There's no live ammo or nothing. The weapon is also clear. When inspecting the trigger, the only thing that I really want to see is like how the hammer spring, trigger spring, if I remove everything, make sure everything is still how it's supposed to be. And the trigger system basically works off of the tension from the springs. So like when the hammer is let back, the hammer spring is under a bunch of tension, and the only thing holding it really is the trigger. And when the trigger is pulled, the hammer will be released from the disconnector. I think the disconnector is what catches the hammer each time. So for each trigger pull, the trigger will release the hammer. This is the hammer. The hammer spring is on the inside. Each shot, when the gun is cycled, the hammer will be caught back with the disconnector. And each pull of the trigger will release the hammer, and the hammer will hit into the firing pin connected to the bolt carrier group. So this is how the weapon really cycles and stuff. The proper way to fix or work on triggers is to, like I say, remove it and just examine and make sure everything is how it's supposed to be. If anything isn't, you should follow owner's manual or like a AR-15 guide, owner's guide, and just assemble or disassemble anything how the guide tells you to. And if you're confused, just ask for help from anybody that knows. When I'm inspecting the AR, I basically just want to make sure that the safety is working, the trigger is the trigger pull is how I expect it. I just want to make sure the gun is ejecting, cycling, basically the cycle operation. I just want to make sure all that is going. But if I can run a couple of rounds through and there's no issue really, I'll look for other different stuff like how attachment or like say if a laser is off or something like that. But for the most part, I'm just checking to make sure the gun is cycling the right way if I'm inspecting the AR. And the only thing I'm really looking for is just malfunctions or probably damages and stuff like that. When I check the safety, like I say, I just have the gun clear. The gun is clear. Aimed in a safe direction. You can see the chamber empty. But the trigger has just been reset. The hammer is back. Put the gun on safe. Pull it. It has that first initial, I think this is with the 2-stage. So the first will pull and it stops at the wall. But it's on safe. And it's off safe. Pointing in the safe direction. Slight pull. Yeah. So the trigger works how it's supposed to. Put it on safe. It's a small pull but won't release the hammer. So I, like, before testing out, basically dry fire, look for stuff like that. Like, that's how I basically inspect them. If there's anything like out of ordinary, I just go to somebody more experienced. Easy and difficult repairs and modifications. I feel like easy stuff when it comes to triggers or like drop-in triggers, that's something that's real easy. So like if you wanna lessen the time of like a job that you're trying to do, drop-in triggers, binary triggers, put in new buffer tubes and stuff like that, new stocks. I feel like that's easy. Removing the handguard, putting different style handguards or different barrel lengths and all that, that's just easy stuff. Even removing like internal parts and stuff. But like I stated in probably a previous assignment, a more difficult thing would be like with my M4. It's just the upper, but like with the gas system, say if it was something wrong with the gas system, this doesn't have a gas tube. But with this one right here, if it was something wrong with the gas system or something, I'm not sure if I'd be able to handle the job, I need somebody to most likely help me with it. So that's a more difficult repair in comparison to more simple repairs or modifications like it is stated.